IVM.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative. Yes, the broadcast is live. We've changed studio location. I'm in Amit Doshi, the proprietor of IVM, one-time proprietor. Now we don't know what role he actually plays. He said enough is enough. He can't take the criticism about tech and sound and the low professionalism. And so we've decided to move to his house. Yes, I'm like a boyfriend now. I'm a live-in. I'm in his house. However, before we bring Kamya on, and Kamya is very interesting and a hugely better person to talk to than me, we must understand that tomorrow is a big day in my life, personally speaking. Tomorrow, my wife ages. I should never mention age because you never talk about a woman's age, not even to a large audience where she's not in. She'll be 50. 50 years tomorrow. It's going to be... So I'm just telling you, things might happen. There'll be a lot of anger, a lot of hatred, anguish, pain, stress, and I might be the person who the perpetrator attacks. I won't take names. Just warning you out there, I'll keep my fingers crossed, and if something happens tomorrow and you don't see us, you know who's responsible. There's only one person, because age stops for no one.
"2020 is a difficult year. A global pandemic, protests, elections, recessions. You get the picture. What we need is a space where we can have nuanced discussions about global affairs and foreign policy. That's where I come in. My name is Hamsini Hariharan, and I host the States of Anarchy podcast. Every second Tuesday, I speak to experts in the field of international relations to make a little more sense of the world. So join me on the IVM podcast app, website, or wherever you're listening to me right now.
Let's start our show. Cyrus says we've got Kamya Jani on. Kamya is now camped far away in Lonavala. Kamya, can we see you?
Hi, Cyrus.
You know what I respect so much high is that with people suffering so much across India and lots of people not having food and losing jobs, you and I have such nice homes. I've moved into my boyfriend Amit Doshi's house, and you've got a 4,000 square acre farm in Lonavala, which is full Khandala plus 25% of Lonavala. So what the hell? I'm sick of people saying that, don't be this thing and don't, it's vulgar. If you're okay, you shouldn't talk about it. I'm like, what difference does it make? If you're not suffering too much, you're not suffering too much. You can't pretend. The pretend is the bad thing. Kamya, again, word to the wise, please talk at any point you want to, because I tend to riff on anything. And I've been warned by psychiatrists that it makes no sense to have a conversation with you for more than 5 minutes. And then they charge you 5,000 rupees. Can you believe that?
Okay, Cyrus, you'll have to give me...
what is wrong with this world?
Okay, I've understood. Now I've got to interrupt to get a chance to talk on your show.
Yes.
So, yes, thank you for having me. I am in Lonavala, and I have actually been at home for really long. And it's, I think, been the longest since I've been at home since lockdown 1. My sister owns a house here. And like you, it's not my house, but I'm just making the most of my sister and my brother-in-law's house here. And just enjoying a good view right now. Lack of oxygen in the metros, so just getting some fresh oxygen right here.
And if it's not your house, you should do the right thing and, spoil it a little before you leave. Just a few marks on the wall, crack here and there. Remove. Faucet issues are always great. If water comes out of the wrong way or from 2 ways from the tap, that's always fun for people when they come for the first time to a guest house or a bungalow. Listen, before I want to, of course, I have to introduce you properly, which I've got, and I will in a second. I want to just share with people, because Amit is in the other room working hard, Amit Doshi's collection of medicines. They were here, and Kamya, it is our job to, investigate as investigative journalists. So let's see what this young man has. Crocin, paracetamol. This is for the show, obviously. After watching it, he needs to take 2. Someone's rung the bell that you're going to see people in the background. Dolo 650. Did he have COVID? Because Dolo 650 is what the COVID patient has. So maybe quietly, who knows about that? Neuro Beyond Forte, vitamin B complex. Very expensive medication. Kamya, please, your thoughts on this. And I can't even pronounce this, so forget it. And this is enzyme, some sort of enzyme-related issue product, which is boring me. In the meantime, look at the exciting podcast we have. 2 men fighting in the background. I don't know who they are because I'm in somebody else's house. And just having a conversation like we don't exist.
Is it like
it's a vendor?
Amazon delivery? Talking about the medical kit, I think when you are traveling or going anywhere, you definitely need to have that with you, which is why your friend Amit is being very smart and just keeping this box everywhere. Even if you need it, you can just use it, pop a pill,
Yeah, but the one thing that's missing from there is the painkiller, which is the one thing you need, especially if you're married like me for 20 years and your wife is turning 50 tomorrow. I just keep, I've got Mobizox, muscle spaz, I've got Combi Flam, I've got everything for pain. Painkillers are my thing. As we say goodbye to the male model behind me, Graça Miss India
Goodbye.
2007 and 8.
I mean, he doesn't seem to care. He didn't even look here.
That was Milind Soman. Now, life has been very hard to him in the last 6 months, and so he works here. He's a lovely guy. Milind, later. He's now he
I
just
hope
walks up and
Milind
down
Soman is
because
not watching this or hearing
Kamya,
this.
he walks up and down because there's no ramp, no? So he loses that whole thing and he misses it. So he just walks up and down the house wearing nothing. And I applaud and say, Winter collection, well done, well done. Listen, Kamya, this is your show and we are talking rubbish. She is a nomadic traveler and an entrepreneur despite being married and a mom. First, congratulations. Because a lot of people, I don't want to sound patronizing, but a lot of people think that once a woman is married and has kids, that one part of her life is over.
Yeah.
Like she should not exist beyond being the mother, the socialite, the kid person or whatever you call it. And I love stories of married women who sort of reinvent themselves and actually their career starts almost at that point, which I know you worked a lot before that as well, but this is probably something that's going to put you into the top league, already has. You've got so many followers. So you wish to inspire women to pursue their passion, not to give up on themselves, exactly what we said, due to societal pressures, especially urban Indians. 40 countries, 136 cities and the rest of the world to go. That's 40 countries you've been to or 40 countries left?
40 countries I've been to so far.
So how many are there in the world? 190-ish, right? If I remember correctly.
195. So I have a long way to go.
Oh God, sorry, Central Europe, there's one more country just formed. I just got breaking news. Kamya gave up her full-time corporate job to dare to live the life. With Curly Tales, she lets people discover their love for food, travel, and indulgence. So let's quickly, before we go into Curly Tales and what you're doing right now, you were with CNBC TV 18 as well.
Yes.
ET Now, Bloomberg. So you were a business journalist, basically.
That's right.
Finance and business.
Yes. I would talk about stock market before this.
Yeah, but on the other hand, that seems like a slightly educated job and a proper specifics avatar, which most people would grow into and stay into. And probably write a book as you age about the financial breakdown, meltdowns, lockdowns that they force on us. So let's start in the beginning, then we'll get into Curly Tales. Why and how was that? Why did you decide to give that up and go this way? Or you tell us.
So, Cyrus, I've always been a traveler and always had a keen interest in just seeing the world around me and not just exist. And I would say, you said something very interesting. After getting married, a lot of women think like, this is it. But for me, that in fact pushed me more because I was like, is this it? I got to do more. And as I was growing up, of course, yes, I wanted to be a news anchor. I became a news anchor, even though it took a lot of time for me to become a news anchor. And I think last 6 years of my corporate job, I was working at a business news channel talking about stock markets. It was great. And in the interim, I also became a mom. And my daughter was 3 when I was like, okay, you know what? I feel too confined in this air-conditioned box. Let me give it a shot. Let me quit my job for a year. I had enough savings to, save myself at least for a year. I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. And if I do well, there's no looking back, but if I don't, I'll come back looking for a job. Maybe one of the news channels will hire me back. So that was the whole, motivation behind quitting my job. And honestly, it did so well that no looking back. I'm glad about that.
Kamya, I was your complete supporter right till you mentioned a horrible phrase. You said I was stuck in my air-conditioned box. Now that really hurts me because there's nothing. I fight for air conditioning. Like Martin Luther King had a dream of people living together of different colors and races. My dream is the whole world is air conditioned. We have a top, it's like a mini Dubai is the world in a sense. So you never don't have AC. And when you said that, it just broke my heart, and I'm feeling sad.
But have you seen our new studio? It's literally like a black box. We'll probably have green walls behind you, 3 cameras staring at you. So that's the kind of air-conditioned box I was talking about. Of course, I love air conditioning myself.
Which I should mention the hypocrisy here. Before going online, we spent 5 minutes with you searching for AC and fans and making yourself comfortable, which is perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
So Kamya, what you didn't tell us is why you were doing, I won't call it dry because it's not dry. I mean, people are into finance and business. It's very much a dramatic sense of theater with the markets going up and down and the shifts politically and economically. But at the same time, where was the Kamya, the holiday maker? I know the whole idea was fleshed out later, but was there this wanderlust? Generally people who get into this kind of line seem to have a real thirst for traveling, for discovering places, for other cultures. So was that side being explored in your capacity as a wife and whatever, as a family person with the family as well, before you made the jump?
Yes, Cyrus, it was, but it was very limited to like one or two vacations in a year, and that's when I would feel like, oh, I'm the happiest when I'm traveling. Also, I must add, even when
But
I was
you would plan that with a lot of. I'm just thinking you would plan that with a lot of passion because that's your thing,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely, yeah. 100% my involvement. My husband is someone who would go on a holiday and likes to sleep, whereas I would want to go out and explore.
Why
So
can't
I
men
have
marry men? I know they can sometimes, but we really should encourage it. I immediately like him more. Sorry, what a beautiful sentiment. That's that. I have the same fight with my wife, who similarly likes this whole let's go and see every mountain and every heritage site and every thing. And oh God, one wants to walk. For her, walking is a holiday. Oh God, your husband's understood me already. Sorry. So give us an example of one of the planned holidays. Where would you have gone and what would you have done?
sorry, I didn't get you.
I'm saying before you got into the professional side of it with curly tails,
Yeah,
give us a little
yeah.
2 minutes about where you would have gone and what would you do typically, which sets you off a little bit as a hardcore holiday person and a travel person.
Yeah. So, Cyrus, I'll tell you, it's not just traveling. What I also enjoy is creating content while I'm traveling. I want to document each and every experience. There are people who want to just keep their phone and cameras away when they are traveling. I'm not one of those. So, I'm that annoying traveler who would want to constantly keep taking pictures. I think even as a news anchor or a journalist, while I was working with a lot of these news channels, I would go for these press junkets, media trips to different destinations, and I would see people around me or travel journalists who would do this like for a living. They would only travel around, and which is when I was exposed to this side of a professional life, I would say. And I said, okay, if they can do it, maybe so can I. So the plan was not just to travel without an ambition in my mind. I always wanted to be a professional traveler and want to make a career out of it, and not just be a nomadic and be out traveling, because there are people out there who want to do it, and honestly, 100% respect to them.
But when you mentioned that, I was just thinking, isn't it horrible when you're in a profession and you're jealous of the other person you're interviewing or whatever? When they come on and you like their life better than yours. It happens with me all the time, nearly. If I meet like a cricketer or somebody famous, immediately I'm thinking, oh God, why can't I have his life? Or why can't I have been him? So not that that's you, but I'm just thinking, since you also were a news journalist and you had to listen to lots of people, and sometimes I'm sure that as a catalyst, it would go into your head if the person offline also would speak to you about places. So let's get back now to curly tail. So when did the big jump happen? What was the reason? And most important, are you related to Abu Jani and Sabrina Jani?
Okay, take the last question first. No, I'm not related to any
Damn
of the
it!
Janis that you
Not
mentioned.
Sabrina. She was my stylist.
Oh,
That makes it. That's a very funny thing to say, but yeah. I mean, who says that? Especially someone who's as badly dressed as I am. Okay, so not Abu
oh,
Jani's relative at all.
no, I'm not. I'm not.
But you were immortalized in
I
a.
wish I was.
Yeah, they're minting it even in lockdown.
I would have had a good fashion career as well.
Yeah, every time you travel, you'll be parading clothes.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's switch now.
Sorry, you wanted to
Sorry,
say
go on.
something, Shanice?
No, I'll just keep talking. So you have to just override me, and unfortunately, we're not really. If you were across the table, it'd be easier for the cues. But what happens here is because I keep talking, then I have to just keep saying sorry. Half the show, I'm saying sorry, so the guests can continue. So in fact, we edited 20 sorries that I give
Okay,
them, and then
I pity your wife now. I pity your wife. I wonder how much does she get to talk in this relationship.
come here. Separate bathrooms. Separate bedrooms if possible, separate bathrooms for sure. That's why 20 years plus. How many? 20 years? Yeah, 20 years. 20 years of marriage. Oof.
I am
Ouch.
taking notes for this, for a good, happy
But I
married
tell
life.
everyone,
This is
कुछ शर्म नहीं है इसमें. You don't have to feel shame about it. It's okay if you can afford it and you have separate rooms. Of course, that means me moving back with my mother, which is fine. And as an Indian male, I'm more than happy. You know. Okay, let's not digress. Let's
absolutely
get back.
okay.
Yeah.
So early tales. I think 2017 is when I quit my job and I started Curly Tales. It was just my personal blog. But video wasn't a thing back then. I would write articles about wherever I would go, and I realized that nobody else is making videos.
Sorry to interrupt, but
Yes,
why curly? Why curly tails? What's the thing about curly? Oh, the curly. Okay, you yourself
my
curly. Acha, acha.
curly hair. Yes.
Because I'm so
I think
stupid. I'm
that
trying to think of what parallel between geography and curly, like some part of the world. Sorry, so sorry. Go on, go on.
Yeah. So curly and tails because stories. So these are essentially my stories, which is why I named it Curly Tales. When I started, I would just write articles, document whatever, wherever I would go. I realized that not too many people are making videos. So I started a Facebook page. That was my first platform where I, set up Curly Tales. And I would publish like a quick 1 minute videos. I never thought people would actually watch. And in fact, at least for the first 6 to 8 months, my mom and my father-in-law were the only two people who would share content on Facebook. And I think pretty soon they gave up until I got like a really good viral video. And which is when, things started picking up pace and we would see viral alerts after viral alerts. So that was good. But it took some time.
What was the first one? What was that first viral video?
It was the Lakshmi Vilas Palace in Baroda, which is actually 4 times bigger than the Buckingham Palace in London. So when
What are you saying? Go me, Elizabeth. Koi jawab hai? I don't know why I'm looking up. She's not on the floor above, but yeah, wow. What a fact that is.
Yeah,
Because Buckingham is
yeah,
huge.
which is
So how
what
big
got
is
all the Indians feel very proud about it, and that's when they shared. Which is when I understood how to create shareable content.
this? We're such a petty people. Okay, you went viral the moment the complex was opened. The complex of
Yes.
hum bhi pada hai. That's what it comes down to. God, that's ridiculous. But you see how I reacted exactly like that. So very much Indian. Yeah, so I'll just stop for a second here because this is a question we get asked all the time. Nobody knows what is a success formula on the internet and all that, actually, or in films for that matter. But people, I mean, do you know what will go viral? Do you have a gut feeling after that first one,
Um,
or is it a bit hit and miss and lottery?
it is a hit and miss, Cyrus. You got to try it all the time. And sometimes I'm like dead sure that this is going to be a viral video. And boom, sometimes it doesn't even cross like, minimum views. And I'm like, what wrong did I do? So it happens all the time. You're never too perfect. You can't predict this for sure.
So, no, so what do you think? We'll come back to the curly tails in a second, but what do you think is? I don't know. I don't think it's a difficult question to ask. Also, is it your avatar, your personality, which is the thing that people identify with? Perhaps women of a who can tell immediately, why don't I have this life? You sort of empower them a little bit, I would think. And now with the internet, we're not talking about just girls in South Delhi, ladies in South Delhi and Mumbai. We're talking about across India, across the world, or wherever people who have some empathy level with all this. So you think it's more that suddenly this became so successful and blew up, or is it just what would I mean? Again, I know it's immodest to say, but I'm just wondering that connect is more important.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of a lot of things. See, ours is a recommendation-based platform. Sometimes you've done videos where there's actually no anchor. It's only a food dish that we may be recommending, and which could be in your neighborhood. Like, it could be something like a pani puri wala bhaiya in Babri Walkeshwar or Holi. And people living in the neighborhood get extremely excited when they look at it and they, immediately connect to that particular place. And, okay, I would like to believe that it's me that people are connecting with. And Curly Tales has a few other presenters as well now as a platform, because I've made it more like a digital platform with a lot of presenters too. So, of course, having a human in the video makes it better because you immediately connect with people. Yes, a lot of people do recognize me as Curly Tales as a platform, and they do connect with my stories. A lot of moms feel very inspired because they feel like, okay, if she can do it, maybe, we can do it too. And that, I think, is a great feeling for me. When people personally, look up to me or would message me or say that, I inspire them in one way or the other. But I would say the platform is more for travelers or food enthusiasts who are always looking for recommendations and new places to go to or try. But unfortunately, the lockdown has put a pause on everyone's plan. So they're just living through our videos so far.
No, yeah, but when you think about it, a lot of people will be. I don't think jealous is the right word, but they'll be like, oh, I think that's the best thing in the world when you identify with the person, say, damn it, I want that life. I want what we discussed earlier. So I'm just thinking that the moment I read your stuff and I realized what you're doing, I'm thinking, I can't believe my wife will be horribly jealous, okay? Like horribly jealous. She's a photographer, artist, and all that, but she loves to travel. She loves the food from different areas and just the whole enjoying cultures and subcultures in our own neighborhood, as you said, all the way to, Algeria or wherever the hell you went after that. So I'm just thinking, a lot of people will be thinking, what the hell, mere life mein kuch hua nahi. And it's almost like you're having the ideal life. You were like in the corporate business, you were a proper business journalist, by no means a small job, and then after that you've gone and you reinvented yourself and you've got this, and now it's like pleasure is paying you because it's pleasurable to go organize. I know you've got people under you doing stuff and whatever, but it's all fun for you. Just the planning, I suppose, of everything that goes around traveling, eating,
Yeah.
and the hedonistic part of life. Let's be honest, which you're all missing here in lockdown.
Yeah.
And I wish the government would make it compulsory that we all have more pleasure.
Yeah.
Not in the sense of more kids, because we should remove some of the Indians. Don't get me started. I'm thinking we should give away 20% and get equity in our country. Give Canada and New Zealand and all the sparsely occupied. Sorry, we will not discuss now. But yeah, so I'm just thinking, I can just think people just look at, I want her life. Your life seems to be like a quality life, like the Aussies have, fighting for a 4-day weekend and 3 days of camping. So, it's just much more to your life than what most of us have, which is just trying to earn money.
Yeah. So, Cyrus, actually, a part of my job is to glorify the life I'm living, which is good. And it is true. And I'm very happy with the life that I have. But there's a lot of hard work, which I not necessarily put it out on camera. There is so much work goes that behind the scenes, be it your research, be it, editing videos with the editors, making sure that each and everything is in place, graphics, spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes, or anything else that's happening. There's so much more. And plus I have a family and to divide my time. As you can see, my eyes are all puffy. It's only because I sleep less. So yeah, it's a great life. Thank you for that.
Kamya, after these 2 lockdowns, I think we've invested in family for the year to 2027. I don't think you should worry. We all spent so much time together that for 6 years you'll be allowed to just travel and do your stuff. And coming back to grammatical errors, is it a generational thing that nobody can spell correctly anymore? Because they all got this autotype and whatever going on. Because I just went through something that somebody sent me, and just basic mistakes, punctuation, conjunctions.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, what happened? It's not like big problems in grammar. It's just normal, simple things.
IKR.
So that's something the government.
Do you know what is IKR?
So what's IKR?
I know, right? This is how the younger generation talks.
Oh, sorry. So the younger generation is much younger. Okay, you have to just sort of perspective and relativity. Yeah. So for us, I think the only thing is that we know from that world is PS, because on the letters I used to write PS. Because I'm the kind of guy who's always forgetting to complete the letter. So PS, PPS, PPPS, and half my letter would be that, and half the letter would be the actual letter. Yeah. So but my daughter does this humiliation to me all the time. Just answering with the acronyms, and just throws it in the air like a mic drop and walks off. And I'm like, literally like that. By the way, while you were talking, a lovely good-looking lady just passed behind and left. Yeah. I don't know what's happening in this Amit Doshi's house. All right, first we saw Milind Soman with no clothes running around. Now we had this lovely lady, but she was covered, so we couldn't really see her. And who is she? What is she doing? People listening to the podcast, Kamya, please understand this is your show, but I cannot lie. I have to face the truth. We will uncover what's going on here. And if there's a crime, I promise to report it, but to Madhya Pradesh, where they lock up comedians. It's much safer there.
So what does your investigation say? What does your investigation say?
Well, I don't want to put Amit down, but I thought that in terms of level, like Doberman, Rottweiler, I felt she was a league above his category. So I don't think it's a social relationship. Silvery, the producer, please don't underline this point. I'll discuss it with Amit offline as well. Kamya, please stay on track, please. What the hell's going on with you? You're behaving like me. So now let's talk about some interesting anecdotes before we go into break. So from the beginning till now, you've traveled yourself personally, you organized and orchestrated everything. So give us a couple of nice incidents that from Curly Tales that you've enjoyed, even if ones that didn't, go well.
Any of my travel experiences?
Yeah, any anecdotes that you've had, because you've now had such a rich life in a short time in terms of, I suppose, experience.
Yeah, I'll tell you something about being an entrepreneur. So when I started off in 2017, I hired these 2 young girls to write content because I wanted to be consistent with putting out content and wanted volume, just so that, there is good SEO happening, a lot of traffic coming in. And while they would write articles, I would sometimes go out and shoot everything on my mobile phone using a selfie stick. But when I would come back, there would hardly be any articles. And I just didn't know, because I was a new boss. So I just didn't know how to deal with the team, And pretty soon I realized that every day when I would work, they would be watching nice videos on YouTube or watching a series on Netflix. And I was like, okay, how do I deal with this now? So somehow managed to find, of course, both of them were eventually fired. But I think that's the thing about being a boss. You don't know what's the right thing, what's not. I mean, I have been an employee for really long and I've had multiple bosses, and I've never liked too many of them. But yeah, I guess I'm not liked by a lot of people now who are working with me.
But your story is actually funnier than you think, because these guys are starting in a sort of startup situation where you think those are the years where people work 24 hours a day and are really hungry. And they are actually a cut from the 70s government job sort of description. You come there, they didn't have phones, so they didn't have newspapers. And you come there, you kill time, and then the 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and you leave. So that I think
Yeah.
that's a nice story. Took you a long time to fire them. Would like to work for you because I have the same sort of professional ethos and standards. But what about actually going to places and all that? One thing, Indians behave so badly abroad. I wish you'd do one thing on that. I think abroad itself not always so badly, but when they're in a group,
Yeah.
the moment they're in a group, Indian bus passing you, that's an Indian bus.
Yeah.
And if anything is thrown out of a window, it's an Indian hand at work. For example.
Yeah, so I remember going to New Zealand and going to an Indian restaurant, and I was actually having Indian food after a really long period of time. And I was with the Tourism New Zealand delegates, so they were actually taking me around different places, and they thought they would treat me to a nice Indian meal. And I go there, and I think a family of 20 Indians would reach at the restaurant at the same time, and they were so loud that all the local New Zealanders were looking at them as like, what just happened? And of course, that internationally there aren't tables, which other restaurants are also like pretty compact, not like an Indian restaurant in India. So it's like, अरे इधर से जरा टेबल यहाँ हटा देना, हमारे लिए यहाँ से कुर्सी ले आना. Loud in the restaurant. It was a bit funny. We're quite used to it in India. And there was a kid who was shouting, "Nahi, mujhe aaj papad khana hai, mujhe papad khana hai." And there was no papad in New Zealand. But yeah, some funny incidents like that happened. Another one I remember is going to Turkey on there's a group called ISAC where you actually go and live with the students, local students.
In Xavier's, I remember them, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I had not experienced it in
I wasn't part of it, but I saw the ISAC meetings and all that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. I just knew about its existence, but as a part of my travel blogger, ISAC wanted to, of course, create more awareness with the college going students here. So they sent me, and I actually went and stayed with the students of Turkey. And it was quite an amazing experience. And I was supposed to go and stay in someone's house in Istanbul. When I reached that house, the host was not at her house. She said, "Oh, sorry, I have had to go to my parents' house, so you can go and live there." It was so scary because there was literally no electricity. I could see another window from my door, and I could see like there's a cat living there. It was full on like a horror story happening. I packed my bags overnight and I left.
But the person supposed to take you in and look after you, or they just give you an empty house?
So that person wasn't in the house, but she was assigned to do it. She's like, "Oh, you can go and stay in my house, but I'm not in the house." So that was scary.
Kamya, you've disappointed me for the first time on this program. I'm shattered now. Because as an Indian, your job is to occupy that house forever. You have to start calling your relatives so that lady can't get back in. That is our story for the world. Oh, so sad, really. So how did that end? Did you contact the lady again, or you just ran away in panic?
No, I just ran away. I swear I couldn't. I stayed.
Checked into a hotel.
I checked into a hotel because she had her clothes lying everywhere. Her cupboards were open. I was like, okay, there seems something wrong with the house. I don't know. I just got too scared and I left.
Well, that's one thing about us. If it was reversed, you would have brought her in, made her feel really comfortable, given her all 32 options for food, drink, etc. And then, if you had to leave, you would have, checked on her 5 times. I must say, when it comes to hospitality, I gave India a plus. So that's 19 minuses and 1 plus. Today.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with you, Cyrus. I mean, having traveled the world, I really feel the Indian hospitality is unmatched. They'll carry your bags. They'll pamper you.
Pakistan first. Pakistan number 1. The most. No jokes apart. When it comes to Mehman culture, number 1. Trust me, I've roamed with Pakistan.
I haven't been to Pakistan.
Unbelievable. And that part of goes into North India as well, because they share common everything. And then it comes down to India as well. But I would say Pakistan 1, India 2nd. And then the West, with all due respect, with all the lovely things they have, hospitality, my God, no. Look at what you went through. Istanbul is both East and West in a sense. It's the cradle of civilization, all that. And the woman leaves you with clothes all over the place. God, it sounds like a gangster fleeing or something. Ouch. Okay, listen, you're talking too much. We have to take a break. It's all your fault. But please, whatever else you want to say post-break, please tell us, because as usual, I didn't bother to ask pointed questions about your life.
I'll go switch off the fan.
Sorry?
I'll go switch off the fan.
Why?
The air conditioning is now good enough for me to survive for another half an hour.
Okay, go switch off the fan.
And if it's noisy,
Fair enough. Save the electricity. Keep the AC on, shut the fan. Okay. All right. So we bring in Silvery as we go into a break on our live show. And I look at Amit's stash here. Drugs, unbelievable amount of drugs. Do not try this at home, guys. Don't carry drugs all over the place. Very dangerous. Yeah. I do feel Silvery, he's got too many pills. He's a couple of years younger than me. And I feel it's not the right time. At least wait till you're about 58, 60, somewhere in that region. Don't you think? In your 40s, so many pills.
Are you saying Amit is running a side business of selling these pills?
That would be a positive thing because if he's an entrepreneur, I don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm just worried that, once you get into that pill rabbit hole, you just plunge into it. You just see anyone around you, the seniors, chachas, mamas, whoever, they don't stop. And then you'll notice they've got these pills there. Like my good friend Kunal Vijekar, he has one guy prepare the weekly pill thing in that pill box with all the colors and all, for idiots. Like if you're an infant of 3, you're given everything so you can't make a mistake. So every day he's given the whole lot and then he has to take it. Then the next day he's given the whole lot in a little box and with colors and all to make him happy. Come on, beta, pink pill, blue pill, all that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank the sponsors on the network this week, Cred, PayPal, and Ciat. Thank you. We really do appreciate the support. So this week on Cyrus Says was great. We had Meghna joining us on Cock and Bull, Tanveer Taj and Priyanka Jena talking about pets. Huma Qureshi talks about her new television show and her life in Bollywood. And to celebrate 700 episodes on Cyrus Says, we had a number of his previous producers come on board and reminisce. Tune into This Round Is On Me, where Gauri Devi Dayal was joined by Samir Sheth and Yash Panage. These are the guys who started Bombay Canteen, O Pedro, and a number of other restaurants. Really great conversation they had with Gauri. On The Habit Coach, Ashton Doctor tells us about nourishing creativity and the importance of losing and some micro habits to counter overthinking. On their 75th episode, Ritasha and Rayushi talk to Naveen Richards. On The Note with Monica Nayat, she speaks with Komal Nahata to talk about the business of Bollywood, lockdown losses, piracy issues, and experiments being done to keep it going. On Advertising is Dead, Varun is joined by Guru Bhatt, VP of Customer Success Platform for PayPal India, to talk about how the digital money landscape and the fintech ecosystem has fundamentally altered the world. We also have Thalarate, our Kannada podcast. Hosts Ganesh and Pawan discuss video games, and Sivakamyam Sabatam, the Tamil show where Kavita Jiva sheds light in another story about the bravery and excellence in the governance of the Pallava dynasty. And with that, let's get you back to your show.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me. Kamya.
Yes.
Welcome back to this lovely show. I'm sure that out of all your experiences, this will go down as top 3 worst ones, including sharing toilets with Indian community on Air India, planes all the way to Rio de Janeiro, which takes hours and years. Is there do we have to do a plug for Cred?
No.
Done
we're
now,
good,
no?
we're good. Yeah, we're done.
Yes. I mean, not yes. Cred, please come back.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be back. Yeah.
Hey, Kamya, we need sponsors. You know anyone? We're very cheap.
No, I'm looking for a sponsor too. The travel and the hospitality industry has been badly shattered. So if you know of someone, please share.
You've got so many followers. That's because of lockdown. It's a health issue. No, but yours is not a real issue. Yours is just an issue because of health. So the borders are shut. The moment they open, you're amongst the top 5 people. You first, then Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi second, and then I suppose Indian cricket team. This is in that order. They leave the shores. People like me and Silvery, you have to wait, I think, till 2025 before they say Nepal ja sakte tu 2 din ke liye, fir wapas aana. So I don't think you should be worried. Travel industry, listen, every June we would plan, just like in most families, your May or June holiday thing, we would plan to go. And it was a fun thing for me because, my daughter really enjoys, my wife is in a good mood for 7 to 10 days without stopping. That's like a world record. And now for 2 years, we've not had that little small,
Your wife and I still work together.
No, but I'm like your husband. Yeah, the thing is that I like the sedentary, let's not do too much on the holiday, AC, small pool, possible, all that nonsense. So, and they are the intrepid travelers and discover this and no worry and just we'll go there and see. Go there and see scares the crap out of me. I'm like, let's make sure, this civilized. First, what is the standard of the hotel? Sorry, we digress.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to take you for a trip and I'm going to push your limits.
No climbing. In Malaysia, in one place, I had to climb mountains for 2 years. Everything was sore on my back. I couldn't sit here. It was like, I don't think I paid all this money and took them to. And the thing is, we were staying in a 5-star hotel. So why the hell did we have to suffer? That should be for the YMCA guy, who's staying in the YMCA, and to get there takes him 3 hours every day.
But tell me now,
my
now
wife.
that you've been at home for so long, do you miss traveling or are you happy being at home only? Is this your
No,
thing? Like just
my wife has a small place in Alibag, so I've been going there throughout since last year, breaking all government regulations, like criminals. So that, thank God, for the first time I've appreciated that. I mean, it's not the greatest thing, but now if I could travel, see, I love Thailand, and every second year I like to go to Thailand because we get a little villa and little pool, and you get spoiled, and the way they treat you like you're a god.
yeah,
I mean, they're the nicest people in the world.
I agree.
Alika, and then and like Kunal fell in love with the cleaning lady who came and just kept smiling at him, and he thought he was special, but she smiles at everyone because that's a cultural thing. I tried to explain to him later, you're just like another football to her, but she likes football because they're not judgmental. Yeah. So that's one. But then we wanted to quickly, since you mentioned Kamya, we wanted to go to all these places that suddenly have the light shone on them, like Zagreb.
Yeah.
So the Eastern European countries, those sort of areas. We want to go to Italy. We wanted South America was just too far. Wanted to go, but it was just becoming too expensive to get there and all that. Africa, we've gone to Kenya and Zanzibar, but now we want to go to the other side.
Wow.
And yeah, all that. So many places to go to. But Zagreb was big for us. We were planning that whole, so the Eastern Europe side, whatever falls in that, it's a coast. So there were 2-3 cities in the same thing. And it was budget.
Basically, your wife planning it along.
Yeah, my wife plans it, but I insist on good hotels for me. Because I like to do something. I like to work out and I like to eat a lot. So these two things I try to get. Also comfort. So, you need comfort. If you're going to suffer, like, you have to go back to something, no? You can't suffer and then go back like a refugee and sit there and die, slowly. I mean, and then don't forget how much they make us spend. So I keep telling them, everyone should be happy on the holiday. You can't just, so we try to do that.
Yeah.
But definitely she's from your tribe where they sort of, y'all appreciate. I don't think you ever think of the comfort issue. That's really low on the thing. It's always about the civilization you're going to or the place you're going to, the food you're going to, and all that, and the experience that comes. So you guys are spontaneous and real, and I'm very much in a male from a cave, but with AC, huh? I must say, caves must have AC, then and Wi-Fi that doesn't drop us. Otherwise, I've been kidnapped and kept with the producer at the main entrepreneur's house, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You've seen the people walking in the background.
It's a guy thing, I think it's a guy thing. A lot of men just like to go on a holiday to be able to sleep. And I think I connect with all the wives out there who are frustrated with their husbands.
Or maybe it's the older males. I think Silvery and all will be a little bit more dynamic and interested in life. I don't know. Would you fall in the middle?
I'm not sure, but I would definitely want to go out and I'm huge into museums. So I love going to different cities and going to museums. So I would definitely do a lot of that, I think.
Yeah, it's not like I don't like museums and all that. I love history and art also to some extent. But she makes me walk. Like in Paris, the walking from one place to the other. I mean, I couldn't.
That's all of Europe.
Digest so much art.
That's all of Europe. You have
but you can't digest so much in one day. I can't remember a thing except that the fat nude women in one lot of paintings which are really fat. That's the only thing that stayed in my head. And with due respect, all the citadels and what are those steeples and all, or the third or fourth one, they all look the same without being rude. I mean, to the normal mind. But she's a bit more of an art student. Also, for her, it's on a different level. So you take your museum and go to hell. No, but we have to. It's like India. You have to compromise. Jisko jaisa. It has to be some sort of compromise. It can't be a fascist state. I mean, we are not a fascist state now, are we? So we try to. Look, I know, Kamya, I'm sure you do the same thing. You've got to keep him happy also a little bit. You can't just tell your husband, stand near the tree. I'll come back in 6 hours, which is what they did with me and my son, Mikhail.
You know what I do? I leave him at home. I switch on the air conditioning, switch on the TV. I said, have fun. I'm going. Bye.
Really? And the husband becomes the ultimate baby. When you describe it like that, it's like you can have 8 children, but the worst one is, him, just keep the TV on, point his head in the direction, give him a glass of beer or Coke or whatever, and let him just watch. Really? How sad.
No. But then
maybe you could do a husband special when it opens up.
Yeah. But honestly, in this lockdown, he's the one wanting to go out and wanting to travel, and I'm sure somewhere in his heart he regrets not joining me for all those trips that I have done in the past.
You're right. It may have an effect on a lot of us because we're feeling claustrophobic and cooped up.
Yeah.
May appreciate outdoor for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
At least for a while, before it sets in again the DNA and chalo ghar jata hai, both ho gaya. Butter chicken nahi hai isme. What kind of menu is this? I've heard people saying things at restaurants, in Istanbul, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
This group that we were doing a corporate show, and the one guy telling the other guy from the north, they were like, butter chicken nahi hai isme menu, man. You couldn't understand what the menu was. It was really, difficult to understand. It was non-veggie, but you couldn't understand. So he was most disappointed that our traditional dishes were not being served. Where's the dosa maker? What's going on? Bro, let's get on with it. 10:30.
Alright, sure.
Sorry.
I have a couple of questions, Kamya. If someone, for a newbie traveler, and if you had to recommend one place for someone, a newbie traveler to travel to, what would be that one place be?
Depends on where that person is located, in India or
Budget.
abroad.
India. I'm thinking of India.
Bro, budget.
India.
No, so again, go everything. No, like a newbie traveler won't be able to put that much money. Also, I think I imagine.
So low budget. It's a low budget experience. Yeah.
See, it may sound as cliche as possible, but I think
Goa.
First trip, Goa. Yeah. Because I just feel it's so tourist friendly, it's safe, and it won't. I would want the first experience to be a good experience so that they are able to go on to the next step and pursue this further, which is why Goa is a bit easy.
And Kamya,
yeah.
No, and thanks to you, we, the other tourists, get to see some of these tourists, Indian men in full trousers, black shoes, and belt going into the sea, and with those full flannel shirts and coming out like parachutes, with all the water inside and all. I love that experience. I just go to the beach, I put my towel down, I sit and I watch Indian men going in. Hey, Kamlesh, aaja, Kamlesh, aaja, and then they come out, and I'm like, and you have these fat Russian men and these fit-looking Israeli men everywhere, and then you have our guys, the pride of India, who are jumping around in black shoes and black pants with the belt on. I mean,
no. But even in Goa,
why can't we shoot people?
No, but Cyrus, even in Goa, I would recommend some unexplored beaches there. Okay, so not the regular. Maybe go to South Goa or somewhere else. Not the Baga and the Kalangot for sure.
Yeah, that's true. My God. And for us Mumbaikars, you'll end up seeing the same people we live with. The same three families you'll find that you bloody know in the school or from your past. Oh God, I'm like, what? Why? That's another thing I want to complain about with you travel people. Why can't you find places where less of us are there? Because when you're with 1.3 billion, the last thing you want to see is Indians. You go somewhere else, Indians. Suddenly you enter the thing, the guy's an Indian. Someone passes you. I mean, you name the city, I found Indians.
Yeah.
In Rio de Janeiro, the guy at the check-in counter, as we went from Sao Paulo to Rio, we entered, he started talking to me in Marathi. He was so happy to see us and all. I was like, no, Indian. I was like, no, Marathi, no, Portuguese, obligato, stop. I mean, it wasn't.
No, but you will find Indians everywhere.
Everywhere.
You find Indians everywhere. I went to Oman and it was Navratri and there was a Dandiya ceremony happening, and I've not seen so many Gujaratis together in India as many I saw in Oman. No kidding. And they had like
Oman, now pride of Gujarat. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. That's true. That comes back to our point.
Yeah, and in London there is Southall, which is again like a mini Punjab.
Oh God.
In Canada, there is Brampton, again a full neighborhood of. There's a nice Gurdwara. I had langar there. It was quite an experience, and these are some of the viral videos. I've done like the mini Punjab of London, the mini Punjab of Canada. It's a different world altogether.
Canada is mini Punjab.
Yes.
It's very clear now. 2 cabinet ministers are of Sikh origin already, which is more than India has, if I can tell you quite frankly.
Yeah, possible.
Let's go back to the young lad.
Okay. Yeah. So another question I had is, what would you say to someone who is scared of traveling because of COVID? And do you think the travel restrictions were handled properly, or do you think something else could have been done because during the pandemic?
So the point being that we could travel more.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of like a shutdown, travel shutdown.
Yeah.
Kamya, could we have traveled? This is a hard question.
No, I think it's a wise decision to put a halt on traveling. I think this is a format that has been followed internationally as well, which is good. I think not moving around in this period is the best you can do in terms of, still. I mean, I would say that if this continues for longer, we can't have the industry bleeding. So there should be few protocols in place. Travel in smaller groups. Maybe just a couple should travel. There shouldn't be like large gatherings for sure, or the group tours that used to happen. That definitely needs to be stopped. The airlines need to run on like a 50% capacity. I mean, it's better than just shutting it down completely. Yes, Cyrus.
Yeah. You're sounding the teacher. No, I was just thinking. But if you have the Kumbh Mela, for example, and you have lakhs of people having a bath, we've already broken all records. Why pick on some 80 people traveling together? Let's say, what would the number be? 200 people in a plane, 250. I mean, what is that compared to? I mean, that. So we've already raised the bar. So why worry?
Yeah, but I also think with the necessary precautions. I mean, I just between lockdown 1 and lockdown 2, I traveled quite a bit because, of course, the industry picked up and there were a few brands who were willing to sponsor at that point of time, and that was our reason to monetize. I did go out and thankfully so came back without COVID, me or my crew, So the rules are pretty simple. Keep washing your hands, wear a double mask, get going. I went to Ahmedabad, Gujarat, a lot of crowded streets as well. And, you could have realized the break between lockdown 1 and lockdown 2, people almost forgot there is COVID.
I think by November, December, it was like you forgot, yeah.
Absolutely.
Of last
year.
year.
You forgot. Yeah, but we still managed.
I'm hoping they forget now also.
Yeah, I hope so too. But it's possible.
So
I think a lot of self-responsibility than government putting any restrictions.
So what would you do now? Let's say July 1st, they allowed travel properly and all that. Where would Kamya like to go? Would it be in India specific first?
Yes.
Or would you venture straight out beyond?
No. Actually, internationally, they won't accept Indians now for a long time. So it has to be in India.
That's only that's racial profiling. That's not fair. They shouldn't do that. Yeah. Oh, Indian. Sorry.
Indian flights have been banned everywhere. I'm saying Indian flights, but it's technically Indians who are actually banned right now. Till I think the vaccination drive is in place and all of us get 2 jabs. Irrespective of that, I have a plan of going on a tour all of Maharashtra because I feel in the monsoon, Maharashtra is at its best. So the plan is to explore beautiful places in and around my city, Mumbai. So yeah, that's the plan. And go in a caravan.
Kamya, you might. But good. So you might as well stand for elections then. That's exactly what they do. You go in the length and breadth of a state. You might as well canvass, start your own party, curly tails. And just give it a slightly desi touch.
Yeah.
Curly tails. But that sounds north. Make it more Maharashtrian. Help me, Silvery. Curly tails, Ray. We have to figure out.
Curly tully. How's that sound?
Curly tully. Chalo, done.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to absolutely go through the roof with that one. Don't worry. Success guaranteed. Yeah, so that's quite sad that you're telling us that they won't open up, and I want to go for a short holiday if you have any money, of course. And then the places like Sri Lanka, Thailand, the smaller, closer by places which are nice, even that would do for now. Till I think no one has the guts to actually go across to a continent far away. Yeah, that would be
Sorry, but you won't be allowed even there. You won't be allowed.
No, not this year. The whole year. Not even like around the Diwali, this Christmas time.
Yeah. I would say by maybe October, November, the last quarter of 2021 is when they will potentially open up. That too only for people who are vaccinated.
Even Sri Lanka, even an Indian going to Sri Lanka, I can't go.
No, you can't.
It's practically the same country. They dress as badly as us. Oh man.
No, but still you can't.
I love Sri Lanka. Silvery, honestly, it's value for money. Sri Lanka. It's like good Indian people. It's like Indian people, but they're nicer. It's just fun. And the food is great.
But I'll tell you something. Cyrus, when I went to Sri Lanka, there was actually a club which said no Indians allowed.
Oh.
Yes.
Somehow I don't see the negativity in that. I'm struggling. How can they say no Indians allowed? Kamya, how can they do that? I mean, that's like racism, nationalism, whatever you call it. That's you can't do that in the world. I mean,
you really did that?
You can't do that.
I'm not joking.
You saw a physical sign? You shot it?
No. There was no physical sign. They're not written it. But the restaurant owners told us, sorry, this is only for Westerners and Europeans, and Indians are not allowed.
Wow.
In Sri Lanka.
Wow.
That hurt.
That's pure racism, bro. That can't be like, that's horrible. The only thing you should have done is immediately built a restaurant, bang opposite him, and
No Sri
say
Lanka's
no.
allowed.
Yeah, that would be too much. It was killing my whole. I love Sri Lanka and I love Thailand. But how sad. So you 80%. Give me a percentile chance of going in say November, in say Diwali. But I mean, I don't even know the schools are going to follow any break. But 80%, 50% chance to go from here.
Yeah, I think October, November onwards, a lot of countries will open up for us. A lot of countries, because honestly, all countries are struggling.
Yeah.
And every day we've been having video calls with a lot of tourism boards and international tourism boards who are already making plans of what is their revival strategy, because all countries are dependent on tourism majorly. Like, be it, you're talking to Qatar, or sorry, you're laughing about something.
No, I was just thinking of what you said. So then you go back to the Sri Lankan restaurant, and now he's put a sign, Indians, please, because there's no commerce for 2 years. Come. And the Westerners are even more scared of a third world country, so he's not coming for sure. So Indians, Aja, all Devanagari signs and all to encourage you to come. Oh God, sorry.
Sure. Yeah,
No, but
so a lot of tourism boards are waiting to open borders so they can, and honestly, Indians love traveling, especially the Gujarati community. Think,
Guju, Bengali,
absolutely.
and and Punjabi in that order. Huh?
Yes. And they all travel like in big groups, like full family holiday happens once a week. And a lot of countries value Indian travelers. So I'm sure they'll open borders for us sometime very soon.
I hope so. Silver, you as a young lad sitting there in Powai doing sweet F all day. I mean, you must be dying to get out here. And because this is the time that you can travel the world without responsibilities, so to speak. Alone.
Yeah.
While we have to worry about families, and I'm just saying from that point of view, I'm not trying to, put you down in any way.
Yeah.
So don't you and your group.
Absolutely, because the fantasy that Kamya was able to realize in her life is always that you leave your big corporate job and you just become a traveler or a nomad and just go traveling places to places.
For the one Kamya who's got millions of followers and Touchwood doing well, there must have been 100,000 of them who tried this and it went nowhere. I'm sure the success rate is not that high.
Exactly. So, but yeah, definitely want to be able to travel again for sure. It's very sad.
She's really hit the jackpot. I mean, of this lockdown, I mean, just it's perspective. Look at it maybe a year down the line or whatever, and things are back on track. Such a good life to lead. Sort of, because you're always going to have experience.
Yeah.
We sort of have that life when we do events, we get to travel a little bit, but there's a lot of tension to get the job done. They put you on a flight back. So I actually don't get to see anything or ever saw anything.
Yeah.
And I've been all across India, but I can't tell you anything about India. For me, Delhi is just round roads. I keep going there, round roads, reach on time, finish, first flight back. That's it. So, don't start me. It's been a very hard life. Don't start me off. Any more questions?
Yeah, let's get to the AMAs. The first one comes.
We haven't started the AMAs. Okay, go on.
The first
I'll pop a pill. Go on.
Sure. The first one comes from Mittu Chaudhary. He says, asking for a friend, Kamya, what would you say are the biggest risks that one overlooks when moving to the vlogging life from a dull corporate job? Thanks.
I think one of the biggest risks would be not getting a message by the end of the month that your bank account has been, or your salary has been credited, because that is one message that we all look forward to by the end of the month. So you're not going to get that for sure. And it's a long journey till you actually start monetizing. But I would say the trade-off is huge, because you get to experience so much in life, and whatever be your passion, you should be prepared that maybe for the next 1 year, you may not monetize this, and you should still be okay doing the same thing. But I can tell you for sure that being consistent will pay off, but you've got to be 100% passionate about it. So yeah, I think that is one of the biggest risks, I would say. Other than that, nothing really.
No, but also you need to have your Lakshmi Vilas moment, which everybody doesn't get. Because without the Lakshmi Vilas moment, you yourself may have, at some point say, okay, maybe I'll go back to work or what. You said that, in fact.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, and I don't know if luck is involved or not, because I suppose there has to be some element of luck, otherwise everyone will do really well.
No.
But that Lakshmi Vilas moment suddenly took you to another level, right? And suddenly people, then your entire visibility was on another level. So after that, there's no looking back, really.
Absolutely.
So you owe it all to Lakshmi Vilas. You have to name your children Lakshmi and Vilas.
For sure.
And if it's too late, then you have to name the neighbors. But you have to find somebody.
Yeah. You got to have a viral video to really move upwards.
Hey, What about us? We have no viral videos. Our podcast nobody sees, nobody talks about. What should we do? I'm thinking let's kill someone on the show. I believe that works really well. Amit, take the whole box. Water's here. I'm just kidding. Okay, next. What else have we got?
Next one comes in from Gayatri Ravi. She asks, "Good morning, Kamya. Tell us one celebrity with whom you did not enjoy having breakfast, and one celebrity with whom breakfast was absolutely unforgettable."
Oh.
Oops, I didn't even touch on this. I should have. I'm so sorry. Please.
Yeah. So Cyrus, what we didn't talk about is the popular Sunday brunch shows that I do on Curly Tales, where I interview celebrities and talk about their food and travel, preferences, what they enjoy. So I think that's what Gayatri is talking about. So one meal that I really enjoyed was with Virat Kohli, and I am still trying to get over that wonderful, 30 minutes that I spent with him. He is a wonderful human being, so nice, so kind.
Did he flirt?
Not at all. Not at all. I tried very hard.
He let the ball go outside the off stump. I see. That's one way of batting. Oh, you tried very hard.
I tried very hard, but he's married, very committed. Yeah. I'm just kidding, not tried really, but he's really sweet. He's very sweet, very professional also, and very relaxed in him. So it was good.
I love Virat. I just think he's the symbol of India for me in every way, but the way he carries himself and the things he says even in defeat, and the way he's gone from being a brash West Delhi boy to where he is today. So I'm a huge fan of his. Yeah. Anyway, having said that, my thing doesn't count, but are you actually going to tell us about someone you didn't like? Because that will give us viral video. Please, everybody zoom in and start.
Okay, can I? Yes. But honestly, I have put that up. I put that video out, and a lot of people have commented, and they realized how badly the whole interview went, and it was with Salman Khan. I have always been a huge fan of Salman Khan, a huge fan of him. And I was so excited for this meeting, and I don't blame him entirely. I just had like 3 minutes with him, and it was the launch of Bigg Boss. And I think the company had lined up like over 50 interviews, and I was probably the 50th one, because by then he was so frustrated by the experience that no matter what I asked him, he snapped back. I said, "What do you enjoy doing?" He said, he was just trying to be sarcastic throughout. I love giving interviews, wanting to say something to the company that had lined up so many interviews.
But actually, to take his side for a second, that is his style. Huh? He tries to make the tongue-in-cheek, sarcastic retorts. Generally, that's how he talks. It's not necessarily that he's trying to antagonize you. Huh?
Yeah. Go on. I said, "Aapko खाने में क्या पसंद है?" He said, "Aapka dimag." So I said, "Okay." So, maybe he was just trying to be funny. And I didn't realize how bad it is till when I put it up. And there were a lot of comments which went down like, "Oh, he's not being sweet," or "He's not being kind to the presenter," which also played along, But I understand his perspective too now. But yeah.
What did KRK say about that interview? Kamal R. Khan, what did he say? Because whatever he says will make or break this case, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm yet to share that video with KRK, and I think that will be a good idea. Let me do that.
Yeah, why not?
I would love to meet Salman once again and do another interview with him and see how it goes this time. Yeah. This time, maybe he's a little more relaxed and has the only interview.
Listen, you're spot on, Kamya. I've lived in this world of interviews. If you're in the end with a celebrity, especially the slightly older ones who are not that PR conscious like the younger ones who will pop a Red Bull and make sure they're still okay. You can see the difference between the first 5 and the last 5. I mean, the guy's answering the same questions. He's irritated and bored, and he's told the publicist, "I don't want to do any more," and he's being forced. And you get that salvo is fired to you, unfortunately, and that's happened to me also many times. So don't take that personally. Yeah. But having interviewed him a couple of times, he's actually quite nice. Yeah. The problem with him is he's actually quite real. Yeah. In that, you have to fault him, but he's a sincere sort of guy. What you see is what you get. Yeah, so if that's a quality that one enjoys, Yes. So I honestly think there are much worse people than him in the business. Yeah. He's actually not that bad. He can be a little arrogant and a little, impulsive and all that, but it's not the worst crimes. There are much worse crimes. And one day my book will reveal all, Silvery. The Vaseline I had to carry to every audition. You have no idea, beta. Okay, so, let's move on to happier things.
I have one question. Kamya, you were mentioning that you started Curly Tales on Facebook. So how has like Facebook as a platform helped you engage with your audience? Has that helped a lot?
I think Yeah, I owe it big time to Facebook. I feel that is where all families and friends connect really well. And I think back then, at least 2 or 3 years ago, Facebook was the thing. And like I said, my mom and my father-in-law have been my first followers. And then it got shared to WhatsApp groups and other family groups. So I am immensely grateful to Facebook for that.
I mean, you know what you've just done. You've just explained how Facebook is for the older man and older woman, and that's basically where we stand. So it was a good launch pad, and it's important because it's one dynamic of your market model, but it's not the only one. Yeah, that's for
It's not
sure.
the only one, but it is. I can tell you that even today, it is one of the most important ones. We get maximum views on Facebook in comparison to any other social media platform.
Because people on Facebook have the money first and foremost. They're the ones that have the dime to spend and maybe make the decision to spend as well. Are
Absolutely.
you on Facebook, Silvery?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I mean, everyone.
Well, I've been
who's-
told by my children that Facebook is for you. You should stay there and don't come on any other platform and all that. And I've been told with like condescension, not like advice. Really. But Kamya, it's a good thing.
But Cyrus, you have the spending capacity and not the kids really. So bang on.
I hopefully have the earning capacity. My wife has the spending capacity and decision making in all this. I'll go to Zagreb, find the hotel, and go to sleep like your husband. Honestly, we should tour together. Really. Chalo. Can we squeeze one more?
Sure. There's one comment also before
Yeah.
we get to the last question. Sridhar Bhupati says, "Hi Cyrus and team. Huge fan of Kamya and her Sunday brunch shows on Collie Days. Would love to see Kunal and Cyrus on her show soon." So I think that's at some
My
point.
wife
Maybe.
is turning 50 and I have to take Kunal again somewhere. What the hell's going on? And Kunal is like a lesser known Salman Khan. He's always going to be badly behaved. Coughing and I can't hear what you're saying, and it's not a good experience for her to go to. No, I'll
Cyrus,
come alone.
when can we do a Sunday brunch together?
But how do we do it now on Zoom? Aren't you supposed to
No,
eat
we'll
and all
do it
that?
on-
Yeah.
We'll wait for lockdown
Let-
to be lifted, where you and I can enjoy a good Parsi meal together.
And listen, I don't want to wait for lockdown to be lifted. I'm ready to go now. You just tell me where to come.
Done.
That's it. Or you can come to my house.
Yeah.
If you can take the sound. Huh? It's just so loud. There's construction outside and construction inside, and everybody's screaming. I think my wife's this last few hours before that, because I keep reminding her it's going to be 50 soon and all that. It's not going down well. I'm getting a very Kim Jong-un feeling in the house right now, when she passes me. And, I'm just thinking maybe I should get the hairdresser to change the haircut to just end the whole thing. I mean, if you're in bed with Kim Jong-un, you got to face reality and, just that's it. Which means any moment I could be shot or fed to German shepherds or shot with anti-aircraft military fire in the middle of Walkeshwar, where all the guns are in India, as you know. Kamya, I'm sorry, just went off on a rant.
So we're
But
going
it's
to
very
make
sad.
Parsi meal together at a restaurant,
But
because that's the format of the show. Or you cook for me, or you cook a Parsi meal for me.
okay, I think then the Salman will not be your worst experience. Now clearly we'll be adding to that. Yeah. Listen, I probably can make toast, but I can't guarantee you. I'll try my best because I placed it correctly, that kind of thing. I have such low confidence that when I go to the buffet breakfast in 5-star hotels and all, I get scared to go to the toaster. I always ask Maya if it's a family thing or whoever's with me, if it's an event, I always ask them to do the toast. Because I'm always scared to put the right thing in, when to pop it, when to take it out. Because there's always somebody standing around putting pressure on you.
Oh.
And I'm just Indian male who doesn't know his way around the kitchen.
I was hoping.
Yeah, but I can help you with Zomato.
But I was hoping for some patrani, machi, berry pulao, and all of that.
No, I'll organize the food. Food will be berry palau you need that so-called berry from. I think it's a bit of a farce. They say it comes all the way from Tehran and all. I'm now a little skeptical. I'm told you also get it in Crawford Market. So Tehran, Crawford Market, not exactly neighboring places, Yeah, but we'll give you dandal patya, dansak, whatever you want. That food will be organized. But personally, I think I'll stick to. I'll open the door and put the AC on and the fan for you. You're one of us. I'll make sure all that's done. Okay, so the moment lockdown is lifted, we'll come on. I'll bring that fat monkey as well. Horrible man who coughs throughout everything. And of course, let's hope he makes it, COVID and all that. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just insensitive moment. Take it out. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. Are we done?
Yes, sure. We're done.
Can we say bye? Kamya's had enough. Look at her. Let her go back to her lovely life in Lonavala. I suppose it's a farmhouse with property and all that, so at least you can wander around in peace. Not,
yes, definitely. Just stand by the balcony and look at all the greenery is also good enough. And not another building and another window there who's somebody hanging a wet towel to dry. So I have a better view here for sure.
No, but what about me? I have Dhotes, Dhawans, Parekhs, Kapoors. I just have to look out of the window. They're different flora and fauna. Whatever I want is there. And they're always there. They never go from the balcony. It's like, imagine what's happening to Mumbaikars. The balcony is your life. Just look out of the balcony. That's the only time you have some sort of life. Otherwise, you're stuck inside. I think Amit is hinting to me to leave. I think he wants his house back. But I will do what Kamya, you failed to do in Istanbul. I will camp here and I will call Kim Jong-un, aka Aisha. Please make sure she never sees this video. Please, guys. She doesn't have a sense of humor. I mean, that guy might actually be more sensitive. If I had to choose, if I was gay and if I had to choose, I would perhaps, I'm not saying definitely, but there's a chance I would go Kim Jong, the actual original. Plus, he's got a cute haircut. Can't deny that. Okay, guys, enough of this nonsense. Kamya, ready to go back to real life?
Yes.
Okay, bye. Listen, all the best. I hope we didn't bore you to death with our stupid conversation, but really well done. And I hope we can get to hear from you in better times. In fact, you could probably take us to where we can go the moment these things. So we have a more positive conversation also. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
And so we can push people to travel.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's
all right, then.
We are. We all should be traveling.
Yeah. No, I do feel that we'll need to do a little bit of positivity in the market so that people initially, that fear factor has to be crossed, that one line has to be crossed.
Yeah.
So let's have you back the moment you feel that it's time to push people. And so you can earn more money and I can have an easy podcast. All right.
And find a sponsor.
Oh, to pata nahi abhi. Hum honge kamyab ek din. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
My pleasure. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In, or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
Working Monday to Friday glued to your chair making you feel dull? Worry not. Get your 5-minute weekly dose of travel around the world with Postcards from Nowhere. Join me every Thursday as I explore the strange, obscure, and fascinating parts of the world and bring out facets of travel you may not have thought of before. You can find us on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.
Feeling overwhelmed, anxious, struggling with too many obstacles, don't know where your life is headed? Well, if you are dealing with one or all of these, tune into the Positively Unlimited podcast, because in each episode, I share a life lesson, a life hack, a pro tip that can help you get your life back on track. All episodes are available on the IVM website, IVM Podcast app, or wherever it is that you get your podcast from.